guys, the purpose of today's videos is to help you create mindful study habits for your accounting class as well as for other classes that you may take. Why does this have relevance to you? It's time to get serious. You're spending a lot of time and money attending college, and time is the most valuable resource that we have. You'll find out that you need to manage your time in order to be successful. This is an investment in yourself. You want to make sure that you have good future returns. I have studied John Wooden at length. Have you ever heard of him? He's one of the most prolific basketball coaches that this world has ever known. And he held steadfast to 7 principles. You might want to consider Googling him, but here's some quotes that I think relate to why this is an important lesson. John Wooden said, "Nothing will work unless you do." He also said, "Success comes from knowing that you did your best to become the best that you are capable of becoming." And one of my favorite ones, "The best competition I have is against myself to become better." First thing that you need to consider is you need to get organized. Your study area needs to be free of clutter and other disorganization. You may have heard it said that disorganization breeds disorganization. So make sure you have an area free of clutter, and then also make sure you have all the tools that you need at your disposal. This would include such things as a textbook, your notes, which are hopefully organized by binder, in your binder by chapter number, your homework binder that you should be compiling, your calculator, and a computer if you need access to Connect or other internet resource. Once you're organized, then create a designated study space. Try to make it consistent. Make sure it's quiet. Make sure it's distraction-free. And hopefully you can find a place without any cell phones. You don't need to be Facebooking, texting, Tindering, or Instagramming when your focus is on your studies. Distractions can get in the way of the most serious studier. If you fail to plan, then you can plan to fail. Then set up a date for yourself and keep it. Just as you would set up times for doctor's appointments or times for physical exercise, set up study dates, block off times where you can sit down and study the material at hand. It's best if you can try and make the times consistent. For example, maybe on Mondays and Wednesdays from 2 to 4, I'll study my economics material, and maybe on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 3, I'll study for my accounting class. But make consistent dates, block out the time on your calendar, and whenever possible, study in the same place. Your brain will start to make the connection and get yourself in the mood for studying. Again, get rid of any distractions such as your cell phone. At some point, you need to stop thinking about it and just jump in and get busy. Try your homework. Determine your strengths and weaknesses. How do you do that? Take a look at how well you do on the homework and whether you need notes or not to complete the assignments. If you struggle with any specific point, then go back and study those items that you're weak on. Also, take a look at the quizzes. Go back and review the items you've missed. LearnSmart is also a fabulous tool to help you do this. You have to practice. Get your hands dirty. In class, you probably heard me use the analogy of playing on a piano, learning to play a piano. You can't get better by watching somebody do it. You have to jump in, bang on the keys, figure out what sour notes sound like, and learn how to do it better the next time. Homework and mastering the material in a course is the same way. The more you practice, the better you get. Things to consider to optimize your study time. Focus on the basics first. Much of accounting is sequential. You got to learn the basics before you can move on to future chapters. Repetitive practice is mandatory. That's why it's important to set aside a couple hours each week to do nothing but practice the material you've learned. Some students find it helpful to use memory games, which use visualization and association techniques. If you're interested in this, Google that. Take breaks and reward yourself. Set a timer. For myself, I set my timer for 2 hours, and I try and stay in the same place without distractions and study for a good chunk of time. Keep a good attitude and use positive self-talk to encourage yourself. Take a time out if needed, but make it short, and celebrate success with a small reward. This might be something as simple as taking a walk around the block, or taking your dog out, or even taking some Facebook time. But give yourself small rewards and encourage yourself to move on. For me, my favorite reward is a Starbucks drink, as you probably know. Hold yourself accountable. You can do this through the formation of study groups. Consider setting up time to meet a study buddy. You have lots of students in your class with some of the same goals as you have. And then go back and review the objective of the chapter to see if you've met them. Make it a consistent and continuous process. Any weaknesses should be carried over to the next study session. So jot down any topics that you struggle with. If needed, use the accounting tutorial labs. These times can be found on the front page of my website, and of course your instructor is ready to help. In no circumstance should you cram. Cramming doesn't work. If you wait until the night before the test to start studying, it will become overwhelming and you will not do well. Use all the available resources that you have to you. Just some of them would be your classmates, your instructor. I strongly encourage you to check out the old publisher's website where you can take interactive quizzes, the Learn Smart module, especially the missed questions and the quiz features located within the Learn Smart program, and free tutorial assistance. You got this. You can do it. So if you need a recap of what we talked about today, here's a few bullet points. Build study sessions into your time schedule. Try to make them consistent and keep the dates with yourself. Study in an area free of distractions. Practice makes perfect. You cannot practice enough. You have a lot of people surrounding you that want to help you succeed. Reach out when you need it. And again, cramming doesn't work. I feel confident that if you implement these study strategies, you can master whatever material is thrown at you. We're here to help. All of your instructors want to see you succeed. You just need to reach out and ask. Thanks for watching. See you later.